another edition of the Morning Update live on NTN. We are back at Parliament House in downtown Castries. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jessie Leons. Today is Friday, TGIF, today being the 16th of April 2021. We have quite a few updates for you coming from the Ministry of Health in terms of the COVID-19 updates, as well as the response to the volcanic activity continuing to happen in St. Vincent. We also have word from the Ministry of Education reaffirming their position in terms of school reopening is coming Monday the 19th of April. Do stay with us. I just want to let you know also that the quick updates will come before the House of Assembly sitting today, which will continue the debates happening in the House of Assembly on the appropriation bill being tabled this Tuesday. So stay with us.
Health hazard. Air polluted by ash can leave the eyes feeling uncomfortable and irritated. Frequent concerns include corneal abrasions, acute conjunctivitis or inflammation of the conjunctiva, which can lead to redness, burning of the eyes, photosensitivity, foreign body sensation. Eyes can become painful, itchy or bloodshot. Sticky discharge and loss of tearing can also be experienced. Contact lens users should take extra precaution. Contact lenses should be removed, and at this time they should opt to use spectacles to avoid further irritation, corneal abrasion and eye infections. Eye irritation can be minimized by staying indoors when the pollution levels are high, or if you do have to venture out, wear goggles or wraparound sunglasses.
Okay.
Application of a cool compress over the eyes when inside also helps. Use of lubricating eye drops and
so
proper ocular hygiene with clean water. Do not rub the eyes.
Yeah,
Extra care should be taken to prevent ash falling directly into the eyes, which can be very dangerous and cause excessive irritation.
Not being heard.
Therefore, do not look upward at the falling ash.
You trying to fix it?
If you do get ash into the eyes, do not rub. The eyes should be washed for at least 10 minutes with clean running water. If symptoms persist, seek advice from your eye doctor. Stay safe and encourage others to do the same.
What's in the food you're eating? Do you really even know? All the chemicals and hormones used to accelerate their growth. All the artificial flavoring, sweeteners and colors too. We consume and we don't spare a thought for the damage that they'll do. No, think about the children. Think about the children. How will we save them? Chemicals and GMOs are not the solution. Use organic and join.
Excessive agrochemical use, additives and genetically modified foods are harmful to health and the environment. Join the good food revolution. Grow, buy and consume organic. A message from Rise St. Lucia and the Ministry of Sustainable Development with funding from the GEF Small Grants Program, UNDP.
The good food revolution.
Thank you so much for staying with us. If you're just joining, a special good morning to you. We are back at Parliament Building in downtown Castries for the continuation of the budget debates. You would recall earlier this week, Tuesday, the Prime Minister did table the appropriations bill for 2021-2022, and since then the budgets have ensued in the lower house. Today we have so far seen present in the chamber the parliamentary representative for Vieux-Fort South, Honorable Dr. Kenny D'Anthony, the representative for Castries East, and the leader of the parliamentary opposition, Honorable Philip J. Pierre. We also have the parliamentary representative for Castries South, Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire. We also see the parliamentary representative for Vieux-Fort North, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, also the member for Castries North as well is present. Honorable Stevenson King. We also have present, I believe, downstairs the Speaker of the House. So we have present quite a few members of the House this morning getting ready to start the day as we continue with the parliamentary proceedings. I want to provide you with some updates before we get to the parliamentary session. We have the latest word from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. 20 recoveries have been confirmed, and that brings our total number of active cases below 100. The ministry yesterday did inform that there were 18 new cases of COVID-19, and this was out of a batch of 260 samples. And all of these individuals, as usual, were seen, assessed, and tested for COVID-19. They were asked to remain in isolation. Those who have been confirmed, arrangements are being made for them to be isolated now, and contact tracing for the new cases are now underway. As I mentioned, confirmation of 20 recoveries was received, and of course it brings the total number of active cases today to 92. Presently, one of these cases is requiring critical care. As of day before yesterday, that is the 14th of April, 23,428 individuals received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, that is the Oxford AstraZeneca, and 20 individuals have received their second dose. We have today the health team administering vaccinations at the Philip Mosley grounds, the Darren Sammy Cricket grounds, as well as the Jack Mel Wellness Center. So if you're interested in getting vaccinated, you can go online, hmi.govt.lc, or you can contact your nearest community wellness center, let them know that you're interested in getting pre-registered and getting vaccinated so they can pre-register on your behalf. At present, the Ministry of Health is now in its second phase of the COVID-19 vaccine campaign. They are targeting people in education. You would know at this time that the Ministry of Education is preparing for a return to the physical classrooms, class in a physical setting this coming Monday. Also, the commercial sector, tourism, transportation sectors, they continue to target these particular people to ensure that we can slowly but steadily come back to some sense of normalcy here on Ireland. As I mentioned, the first dose is given 23,428, and the second dose is given as of April 14th. It stands at 20. Tomorrow, if you want to get vaccinated, you can head on down to the VG Sports Complex. Hopefully pre-register, also taking into consideration that whenever you go to get vaccinated, ensure that you carry your identification card with you. We continue with updates this morning. St. Lucia continues to be under respiratory health alert. There's poor air quality as a result of not only the Saharan dust, but also the volcanic, the ashfall that is coming from St. Vincent at this time. So you are encouraged right now, particularly individuals in the south of the island. I do have some friends and relatives in the south as well, indicating that they are experiencing some issues in terms of the ashfall and having to clean up very often. We do hope that you are keeping safe while you are doing it. Ensure that you wear a face mask if you're heading out, covering your nose down to your chin. Also wear long clothing to protect your skin. Wear goggles or glasses to protect your eyes as well. The Ministry of Health did speak on this respiratory health alert here on Ireland. Of course, initially there wasn't really much to speak on, but As of this week, St. Lucians have been experiencing ashfall, and it has definitely impacted on many individuals. The Ministry of Health is encouraging persons to do what they can to protect themselves until further notice. Just to give you an update before we go to a clip for the morning from Dr. Dara Burt. She's a consultant ophthalmologist speaking on how to protect your eyes during this time. The explosion at La Soufriere, there was an explosion this morning at 6:15 a.m. The eruption column estimated at roughly 8,000 miles high, with an ash cloud seen moving toward the west of St. Vincent. The period between explosions has now lengthened to more than 40 hours, and this is actually confirmation of what was indicated by the geologist Professor Robertson. He did indicate that we would gradually see a lengthening of the intervals between explosive eruptions. And of course, at this time, there is more or less an assessment now happening in the communities that have been impacted, not only by ashfall in the north of St. Vincent, but also by the pyroclastic flow. I would have indicated yesterday that word from the Belmont Observatory indicated that many more communities further south of St. Vincent are being impacted because of the pyroclastic flow of going into and draining into the various valleys. And of course, many more families beyond the 16,000 initially that had to be evacuated have been displaced essentially. So our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to them, and of course we continue to indicate that NEMO is accepting donations from everybody here in St. Lucia who is able to, in terms of cash or kind. You can drop off your donations either at the NEMO office or at any one of the local post offices, and they will facilitate the send off to those most in need. We continue to stand ready to receive evacuees, 300 individuals, as indicated by the Prime Minister, and so that is also one other thing that St. Lucia is doing. We've also launched a program for residents here in St. Lucia. If you could find it within your heart, you have enough space to accept a family, accommodate a family, you can fill out the form on the website govt.lc and let the government of St. Lucia know that you're interested and able to do this kind gesture. But in the meantime, we have a video presentation from consultant ophthalmologist Dr. Dara Burt, and she is speaking on the practicing of proper eye care during ashfall. Let's go to that clip right now. Miguel, we ready? Miguel, if we just go to this, the video presentation from consultant ophthalmologist Dr. Dara Burt, speaking on practicing proper eye care during ashfall. This is the latest statement coming out of the Ministry of Health with respect to the volcanic activity and the health risks it poses to our population. Take a look.
The La Soufriere volcano on the island of St. Vincent began a series of eruptions on April 9, 2021, sending hot ash into the air. Since then, it has erupted multiple times over the past few days, and as a result, here in St. Lucia, we are feeling the effects of the explosion by the presence of ashfall and dust, which is a health hazard. Air polluted by ash can leave the eyes feeling uncomfortable and irritated. Frequent concerns include corneal abrasions, acute conjunctivitis or inflammation of the conjunctiva, which can lead to redness, burning of the eyes, photosensitivity, foreign body sensation. Eyes can become painful, itchy or bloodshot. Sticky discharge and loss of tearing can also be experienced. Contact lens users should take extra precaution. Contact lenses should be removed, and at this time they should opt to use spectacles to avoid further irritation, corneal abrasion and eye infections. Eye irritation can be minimized by staying indoors when the pollution levels are high, or if you do have to venture out, wear goggles or wraparound sunglasses. Application of a cool compress over the eyes when inside also helps. Use of lubricating eye drops and proper ocular hygiene with clean water. Do not rub the eyes. Extra care should be taken to prevent ash falling directly into the eyes, which can be very dangerous and cause excessive irritation. Therefore, do not look upward at the falling ash. If you do get ash into the eyes, do not rub. The eyes should be washed for at least 10 minutes with clean running water. If symptoms persist, seek advice from your eye doctor. Stay safe and encourage others to do the same.
That was Dr. Dara Burt speaking on practicing proper eye care during the ash fall, a consultant ophthalmologist with the Ministry of Health. Of course, this is becoming even more important, particularly as we're dealing with ash fall happening in St. Lucia, and so many risks being posed at this time, not only the direct health risks, but also the indirect ones in terms of when you think of traffic and visibility and so on. We do hope everyone is being safe out there and taking extra precaution in every respect to protect themselves and their families. Finally, in our updates this morning, we do have a word from the Ministry of Education speaking on the physical reopening of educational institutions set for this coming Monday, that is the 19th of April 2021. During this academic year, distributed learning using various modalities at our educational institutions has been the norm, and the ministry is applauding educators and parents who have and continue to support their students and their wards. After much consultation with stakeholders, and we're talking about the Ministry of Health and Wellness, more specifically the Environmental Health Department, schools will resume physical operations for the third term of this academic year. Students will return to the physical setting on Monday, that is the 19th of April. Of paramount importance are the health and safety of students and staff, and support staff, ancillary staff have been integral to preparing the physical plant. And moreover, the Department of Education continues to rely on the guidance of the Ministry of Health and Wellness to ensure that classes are conducted in a safe environment. Educational institutions will operate from Monday to Friday based on the established school hours, and there are some schools that will adopt the whole school approach based on the physical infrastructure and the school population. 34 schools will operate using the alternate day system. A 6-day cycle will be used, thus providing at least 3 days of face-to-face instruction to students. Mass crowd gatherings are not permissible at this time. Sporting activities are limited to small group physical engagement and non-contact sports. Educators are being encouraged to engage in prior preparation to ensure a smooth reopening and delivery of classes at schools island-wide. The Department of Education will continue to engage stakeholders where necessary, as the situation with respect to COVID-19 remains very fluid. Our goal is to ensure that students receive the required instruction and support during their educational journeys. So that is the latest update from the Ministry of Education, speaking on the reopening of school. And there's so much to take into consideration. If I could go back to the Department of Health's recent press conference, speaking on the volcanic situation in St. Vincent, the Assistant Chief Environmental Health Officer did indicate that the ashfall associated with the volcanic activity happening in St. Vincent is a reality, and they are taking that into consideration when looking at the resumption of school. And so, should things get critical, they stand prepared to make adjustments and to advise the Department of Education when it comes to school. So perhaps if this ashfall situation does continue, they are very much open to making adjustments and accommodating various locations on the island in that respect. So not to worry, not to fret. When the kids return to school, do encourage them to continue to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols and to take into account the Saharan dust, the ashfall, as well as they head out, and wish them all the best. And many of the students are preparing for major examinations. We're talking about Common Entrance, CXC. We did hear from the Chief Education Officer, Dr. Fiona Philip-Meyer, that Common Entrance, this is the last year of Common Entrance. From next academic year, we'll be having the CPEA. And so there was the the reinforcement of the commitment of the Department of Education to assist and to not jeopardize the chances of our students for common entrance this term. And so a lot of things will be taken into consideration. So rest assured, we will be hearing from the Ministry of Education when the times for the examinations come, as well as should any eventuality with respect to COVID-19, adjustment in the COVID-19 protocols, as well as the response to the volcanic activity in St. Vincent happen. Well, to come to the end of the updates for this morning, I'd like to thank you so much for watching. We want you to continue staying tuned to NTN because the budget debates will continue this morning. We're coming to you live from Parliament in downtown Castries. We do have quite a few parliamentarians who have seated and are ready for this morning's proceedings. So do stay tuned. We're going to go back to studio for now until the Speaker of the House does arrive for the commencement of this morning's proceedings. Do enjoy the rest of your morning. Cheers.